happy to be here. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Lieutenant War Chief, thank you so much for welcoming us here. And I'm incredibly grateful. Every single time I've been up to Taos, you all have welcomed me, and I'm very grateful. And thank you for joining us today. It means a tremendous amount to have you here. So thank you for being here and taking time. And I know you all never get a day off, so so thank you for taking the time to be here with us. It means a tremendous amount. Thank you. And thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be back in New Mexico. And happy National Public Lands Day. Yes! Yesterday I was at Valle del Oro, and we had that same conversation about what that land could have been. A subdivision, a sewage plant, a tire, dump or whatever. And it's not. It's a beautiful wildlife refuge with dragonflies and swallows and cattails, and a place where public servants steward that land every single day, and it's close to school children, which is awesome. So it feeds all of our souls, definitely, and so we have to make sure that we're taking care of those lands. So it's an incredible day. You can hear the water behind us, and all I could think about is how awesome it would have been to see this full of a rushing river, right? That would have been pretty spectacular. But I still love it. So of course I always feel the warmth when I'm back home in New Mexico, and can't think of a better place to be than right here with all of you at the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument. I was very lucky to spend this morning on a hike in the sage-filled air, overlooking the monument. It's beautiful from a distance as it is beautiful up close. And of course, like you, each time I come here or anywhere out in nature, you can really feel the power of nature. It's worth everything. Before I go any further, I want to take a moment to thank our amazing BLM team that takes care of these public lands. So thank you all. Thank you. Some of them are wearing uniforms. Well, I guess you two are wearing uniforms also. I'm so honored to work alongside Tracy Stone Manning in Washington, D.C., and of course, Melanie Barnes, who stepped up to lead our state. Thank you for both of you for doing a spectacular job. So grateful that you were my colleagues. On this National Public Lands Day, I'm reminded again of just how extraordinary it is that this land is protected for everyone in perpetuity. And that is an incredible gift. Anyone who steps foot here in the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument shares that experience with those who came before them and those who will come after them. It's why we acknowledge the first stewards of our lands and waters. We're here on the ancestral homelands of the northern Pueblos, Taos, of course, and the Apache people. There were many tribes who have been here long before we were. Well, maybe not me, but I think the Pueblos traveled a lot in New Mexico at one time. This place is incredibly sacred because it holds the memories of those ancestors, because local Hispanic communities live off the land in this area, and because we as a country hold it in trust for future generations. That's what our public lands are all about. But I'm also reminded that this national monument didn't happen on its own. These BLM employees did not drop from the sky. Healthy, accessible public lands don't happen by accident. It's only because of the vision, the dedication, and the advocacy of many people, including many who are here today, that make a celebration like this possible. It takes people who know the land, who love the land, and who want to ensure that every community can access the land. It takes people like our champion, Senator Heinrich, who has advocated for protection of this place for years. And Senator, thank you so much for your leadership. I'm so honored. Thank you. As a fellow New Mexican and your constituent, actually, I'm so grateful. Thank you. It also takes funding, and we can't not think about that. I am in awe of the coalition of outdoor enthusiasts, small business owners, community leaders, and beyond who made their voices heard in Congress to get full and permanent funding for the Land and Water Conservation Fund. LWCF has been pivotal to this national monument, and President Biden's 2023 budget has nearly $10 million in additional LWCF funding for this incredible landscape. Working with our partners in Congress, we will further enhance public access to this special place. Across this nation, that dedicated stream of resources to support locally led conservation efforts will continue to benefit this earth in ways that we cannot fully appreciate as we sit here today. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard to support LWCF. And finally, public lands need us to pay it forward. We're all here because someone in our life introduced us to nature. Maybe it was a parent, maybe it was a grandparent, maybe it was a neighbor, maybe it was an auntie or uncle. But someone helped us to love the great outdoors. For me, it was my dad, who grew up on a farm and who made sure as a kid that I climbed mesas, went fishing, waded through rivers, and played outside every chance I got. He just didn't think kids belonged indoors. I want that for every single child in this country. We've all found ourselves on a path where we are champions for public lands. The best thing we can do is pass on that love to our children and grandchildren, because we rely on them to be our future stewards of these lands. As we honor Hispanic Heritage Month, I am mindful of the special connection of the Hispanic community, especially here in New Mexico, has to this land, and it is our job to ensure that those connections are protected for future generations. We know that our lands, waters, and wildlife are facing unprecedented challenges. In New Mexico, we know them all too well: wildfires, drought, loss of natural areas, but we are also resilient. And when we build a big coalition, we can do big things, like establishing a national monument, like passing consequential bills for conservation, like inspiring the next generation of outdoor stewards. I am proud to be part of President Biden's team in advancing America the Beautiful initiative, which seeks to lift up locally led conservation efforts across the country. I know there are many places in New Mexico and around the country that are deserving of recognition and protection, just like Rio Grande del Norte. These are the places that connect us, that support our economies, and that keep us healthy. We all stand to gain by visiting a place of reverence so that our children will understand their obligations as Americans to care for the land. Sacred places feed all of our souls. I look forward to working with all of you to keep celebrating our nation's public lands. And by the way, Tracy's right. We don't just have to celebrate public lands today. We can do it every day. So happy National Public Lands Day to everyone. I am so happy that you all are here with us. Thank you so much.